That's so much fun. Isn't that fun?
Was that on your side? It was the little internet. Like, it's fine. We're good.
It might be your internet because it was okay here. So, did you see me dancing?
I have full bars. I did not, because I was like, why is it?
It worked on my side. Totally worked on my side. Hey, everybody, it's good to see you. It is 11 o'clock on Tuesday morning. Our Coach's Corner today is going to be full of edumacation today. We're really excited. If you are watching, edumacation. If you are watching, let us know where you're watching from. We can see all of your comments, and we're just so happy you're here. Darcy, I'm happy to see you today.
Me too. I'm happy to see you.
Did you know I have a vacation coming up?
Yeah, did you know you have a birthday coming up too?
Oh. This one is hard. Yes, I'm trying to. Look at my shiny head. I need makeup people behind the scenes here because it is really hot. I'm having hot flashes. Could be the coffee, but I feel like there's a lot of shine coming from my head area.
It's a glow. It's not shine. It's a glow.
Oh, yes, I've got a vacation coming up. I cannot wait to be out there on the beach. We are headed to Florida with all of our children. We're going to be missing 2 of them, and we're really sad about that. Well, 3 of them. We're going to be missing 3 of them. But that said, you will find me on the beach in 2 weeks. I'll do some lot of selfies for you, sis. I will do that. And yes, this birthday is hitting me hard. Do you know how old I'm gonna be? Like, this one is hard. I wasn't expecting.
We're 10. What 11. Are we 10? Almost 11 years apart.
I think 11. Yeah.
We're like the 9 months apart. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking you're gonna be like, is that like? Are you gonna be 47?
8.
48.
Yeah. 48. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. I mean, I'm thankful for every breath I get to take, right. But I'm like, okay, I'm a Grammy and I'm 48. Those two are kind of pairing up and matching and aligning together. Hey guys, it's so good to see everybody. Good morning, Gary. Did you see Gary this morning?
Hey, did you get? Yes.
I really think it is your internet, Darcy. I think it is your internet. Yeah.
I'm gonna rotate. Bear with me. Okay.
Okay. All right. Rotate. Hold on to the internet because we don't want to lose you.
Everybody hang tight.
We're gonna do some education this morning. Because sometimes we have, lighthearted, 48 is healthy is better than 30. 48 and healthy is better than 30 and not. And you are 100% right. I think of all those years that I wasted. Being a mom who is very, very unhealthy. And that makes me sad sometimes. So a lot of times we have some lighthearted topics. Today we're going to dive deep because there's a lot of misunderstanding. There's a lot. Are you hot too? I'm just like about to die over
right
here.
Now. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's real. I don't think I'm having hot flashes yet. We just talked about how old I was, but the doctor said I was just fine. Okay. Gretchen's passing through Utah. It's good to see you, Gretchen. We're missing you, but happy that you're having a good time. But today we're going to talk about keto. There's a lot of misunderstandings about what keto is, and a lot of times people will look at our coaching practice and they're like, oh, I don't want to do keto. First of all, I don't understand keto. Second of all, the news media does a fantabulous job at demonizing something that is making people healthy. The other reason is a lot of times people are only focused on weight loss. They really don't give a care about their health because there's a doctor there to shove a pill down their throat, right? So we don't really have to think about reversing insulin resistance. We don't have to think about lowering our sugar because the doctor will do it for us. When the fact of the matter is this very lifestyle can totally transform your life and reverse your metabolic issues. And as you get to be 48 years old, I am starting to focus on the importance of that. Like, I am so thankful that I can go outside and I can run a mile. I can run 2 miles. I can do the things that I couldn't do years ago at 35. Like, I'm just so thankful for the health. And so a lot of times people look at what we do for, as our career choice, and they're like, oh, well, you just want to tell people they can't eat carbs. Well, there's a reason why we have these things and these tools in our tool belt, because it brings you freedom. It brings you health. What are you doing? Is there a tornado over there?
What are you talking about?
Oh, it was a big, big noise.
Maybe it could have been my paper.
Yeah, that's what it was. So I'm going to start out by introducing what the ketogenic lifestyle is. Okay, so there's a lot of misconceptions, and Darcy's going to talk about some of those misconceptions. But I want to talk about what the core principles of the ketogenic lifestyle are and what they involve. They do take some work from us. They do take some adapting from us. But once we understand why we're doing it, it is a whole heck of a lot easier to transform and to do those changes. But basically, what the ketogenic lifestyle does is it reverses your engine. It reverses that core energy engine, right? So if you remember when we were in the corporate world, right? Were you ever in the corporate world?
No.
You did some things out there in the corporate world, but when we were out there and doing our previous job history, we would have, let's say, a Snickers bar at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and we would feel a bunch of energy suddenly, and then suddenly we would be like, I just need to take a nap under my desk, right? The energy source from burning sugar and carbs to burning your own body fat for fuel is like burning gasoline versus coal. A deep burning it's to the gut burning energy, right? So putting your body into a state called ketosis transfers that energy source from burning sugar and carbs, which is quick, fast, and easy. It's a quick surge of energy and then it's gone, to burning a stable, to the bone sort of energy, okay? And this also shifts your body's metabolism from going really, really slow to really quick, because your body has that backing of those ketones. Your brain, first of all, everybody's born in ketosis. So those people who say, oh my gosh, ketosis is so dangerous, we were born in the state of ketosis until our mothers gave us sugar and kicked our bodies out.
Yes.
Our brains prefer ketosis because, well, wouldn't you? Like, if you had a quick burst of energy versus a long, stable bunch of energy, our bodies prefer that. And so the primary goal of inducing ketosis is getting your body to burn your own body fat versus burning sugar, okay? Mm-hmm. And when you get into a state of ketosis, you are at a higher rate of fat burning. So the first benefit of ketosis is switching your gut, the way you burn fuel, switching that to burning a long, stable source of energy that is going to burn your body fat. All right, so you're going to talk about personalizing. We're going to bounce back and forth today on different topics, because some of you probably already knew what ketosis was. You're like, oh, coach, you're telling me again. But there's different ways to do ketosis. And so Darcy's going to talk a little bit about personalizing it.
Yes, because based off of what you just said, there's a lot of that misinformation. People didn't maybe even know that, but they may have heard a source like the news source or a Mayo Clinic or things like that telling you what they think what keto is, but they've never done the research. They just kind of go based off certain researching papers, or somebody said, oh, it didn't work for me.
Fake news.
The fake news, yeah. So how we personalize the keto is because when you first think about keto, people are like, oh, I won't do that. It didn't work for my friend. Well, It didn't work for your friend because they didn't find the thing that worked for them. We're bio-individual. We do not work the same. Monica's journey was completely different than my journey, but we had a foundation of what guidelines to follow. With that foundation, we were able to then build upon what works for our individual needs. Monica's an older person, going to be an older person. I'm a younger person. And
I don't know how I feel about that.
It's facts. It's just facts. So what happens is when we are different age groups, you might need a certain amount of proteins or a certain amount of fats that will help you in your own personal journey. People talk about, if I don't necessarily like to eat protein very much, can I still do keto? Well, yeah, there's different forms of protein. It's not necessarily meat based. So when we're thinking about the specific needs that you have, like if you're not big on meat eating, then there's definitely that way. If you are maybe allergic to certain things, there's other forms of doing keto in that way too. We just have to switch around the dietary needs. A lot of times when we are allergic to things or have sensitivities to things, it comes down to what our gut health is. So we need to make sure that my gut health is different than Monica's gut health. So what I'm going to be feeding myself is going to be different than what Monica's feeding herself. So keto is keto, but it's done for our bio-individual needs. So
and your convenience needs, Darcy, as well. Yes. Convenience and our lifestyle needs. So not even just our own bodies.
Yes.
But some people can't do the protein. Some people can't do a certain kind, and we're like, okay, that's all right. I can give you a meal plan for any kind of keto you want to do. There's a little caveat to that, and I don't know if it's further down in our notes. It might be. But Coach Kathy, for example, Coach Kathy is our amazing coach over on the therapeutic side. I specialize in sugar and carbohydrate addiction. Our techniques with our clients are very specific and very unified. So those who deal with food addiction and those who deal with, say, epilepsy or the people that want the therapeutic healing, those kind of people, they're one lane. There's one lane with them. It is the ketogenic ratio when it comes to the macros. We are 5% carbs, 20% protein, and 75% meat, fats. So that's a little caveat. Other than that, Coach Darcy and I have clients from all backgrounds. And so when something doesn't work, we tweak it. And that's our job as coaches.
And it comes down to the types of things that such as, if you need to be more protein, like carnivore-ish, or if you need to be a little bit more higher in the fats. I think there was this thing a while ago, and it still probably is a thing, that when you are older and you're an older woman, not only do you need to have higher proteins, but you need to have a little bit higher of fats too.
Right.
So, but
women,
women in general. Men just kind of eat whatever things suit them, and then they're just dandy and feel great and lose weight and then maintain weight.
In the ketogenic lane, right? Yeah. But like women need more carbs certain times of the month. That's our job, is to sort that out for you, to decide when you need those things. But we don't kick you out of ketosis until very, very specific times. And there's a benefit. There's a benefit to kicking yourself out of ketosis. That's one of my myths. I'm hopping down to number 3 on my side here on the keto myths. Some of the keto myths are you have to be in ketosis 100% of the time in order to lose weight, or in order for this stuff to work, you have to be in ketosis 100% of the time. You do not. In fact, it's more healthy for you if you're metabolically flexible. If you can bounce from burning sugar and carbs in that brain to burning your own body fat for fuel, that is actually healthier for you. That heals your insulin resistance even faster when you do that. And so with the help of a coach, we take our clients back and forth from being in ketosis to being out of ketosis. And again, as a food addiction specialist, I am very, very careful with that. And actually you are too. It doesn't matter if you're teaching addictions or not. You don't have your clients going in to eat French fries when we want to kick ourselves out, or a donut, right? Yeah. We don't do that anymore. There's certain things that we just don't do anymore. We don't put sugar in our bodies anymore, right? We just don't do that. And it's not good for our mind if you wrestle with food and sugar addiction. Yeah. So that is what
I like the idea of being able to build that foundation first. I was explaining to my son the importance of building certain foundations up so that you have a sturdy understanding, a good safety net. If you fall, you know where to go, and you're able to mentally prepare yourself to when the time comes to metabolically switch back and forth.
Yes. Minimum of 8 weeks. At least in my clients, it's a minimum of 3 weeks.
No,
okay.
3 months.
3 months. That's good. Yeah, that's actually, I'm like 3 weeks. So we got to talk, Darcy. But yeah, that the longer you're in that mode of clean keto, and there are some clients that we're like, no, that's not good for you, because we know and we recognize the symptoms of food addiction. We know and we recognize, and we see what's going to happen for our clients before they do. Right. And so we use discernment and wisdom with every single client. So as we speak, we're speaking generally here. Okay. So if you come to us and are like, well, on that one live, do you remember you told us we could go out of ketosis and we have a food addiction issue, then that's not going to happen.
No,
right.
No.
So other myths, I'm just going to continue with that one because I messed it up for the order here.
Hey, you do.
The fear of fats, that has been ingrained in us since we were little. Remember that food pyramid. The food pyramid, the bread's at the bottom, right? And we're so afraid of those healthy fats. The problem and the fact of the matter is, with all of these diseases of human civilization, it is not the butter's fault. It is the sugar's fault. So everything we're blaming on healthy fats is actually coming from sugar. And it's coming from processed foods. It's coming from seed oils. So we've got that wrong. Yeah. And so that's a myth, is that the healthy fats are bad for us, when in fact it's the sugar, processed foods, and seed oils. Those are the things that are causing the heart disease, the diabetes, the Alzheimer's. Oh my gosh, Darcy, I read this article today that gave me so much hope, because my husband's grandma died of Alzheimer's. And it's such an angry disease, and they are finding that the ketogenic lifestyle is actually reversing the Alzheimer's. Wow. They call it type 3 diabetes now. And when we remove that sugar from those people, if you sense in any sort of way that you've got Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that, get off that sugar yesterday. Yeah. Get off those processed foods yesterday. Get off those seed oils yesterday. Like, make that instantaneous switch. Yeah. And there's so many people in my life that I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much hope. Let's just remove those things that are killing you, right?
So if you know that you have that history, that's where like people use that excuse. Well, it's in my genes. I'm bound to get it.
Doesn't have to be.
Not do.
Oh.
And that's my 90s self coming out. Lady.
Bro.
You need to invest in the future you. If you know that you have those in your history, family line, tree, then, prevent it now. You can prevent those things. It's just like cancer and how it's. We all have cancer cells. It's whether or not we feed it or not.
It's if we feed it. Exactly right. No. The other myth I want to talk about, and then we're going to go to a short freebie. You get something free today for joining in on our live. We're really excited about that. If you do have a camera out, so you can take a snapshot of the QR code that you're going to find to grab your freebie. Okay, but the last myth I want to talk about, and there's so many that we could address if we had about a 10-hour podcast, is that it's a fad diet. I just crack up at the fact that people say, oh, jump on that fad diet again. Mm-hmm. This is my 7th year living the same way that I have eaten. It has changed my life, right? I have reversed my autoimmune issues. I've reversed the high sugar. I've reversed the high blood pressure. And the fact of the matter is if I go back to eating the old way, all of that crap, I'm going to get all of that stuff back, and I'm going to gain the weight back, right? This is not a fad diet. Now, our job as coaches is to make sure that you like this and bringing in those things that Darcy talked about with all of the different options. So basically, if you don't sustain any kind of lifestyle, if you don't sustain any kind of thing that you have started to lose weight, you're going to gain it back. Mm-hmm. We eat. It just blows me away when people say it's a fad, because of the things that we eat. I'm like, how is eating steak and butter and greens and strawberries and whipping cream, how is that a fad? Like, I could eat that every day. What am I giving up? I'm giving up sugar that's feeding cancer in my body. That to me sounds like a fad. Going fat-free is a fad, because that's killing you.
Yeah, that is. Our ancestors ate the way we ate.
Primal. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
How is that a
They fasted, they feasted, they fasted, and they ate the things that God created. So if that's a fad, please sign me up, is what I say. And it absolutely is sustainable. If you are frustrated with keto, you're doing it wrong.
Yes.
And we need to have a chat, because we need to open up the world to you of everything. The first thing our clients get is the most valuable thing of our entire program, which I just rewrote it, by the way. It's called a Keto Bible. Okay. The first thing our clients get is the Keto Bible. They know instantly what they can eat and what they can't eat. It's amazing. Speaking of, it's time to give our freebie away. So many times people are like, Monica, what do I eat? Tell me, what does a day in your life look like? We're going to tell you how to get a free copy of a meal plan. So hold on for 30 seconds. Make sure you have your camera out so you can download your free copy. Did you get your copy? I hope so. If not, you can click on that QR code at the top left-hand corner, and that will also take you to where you can get a free copy of your meal plan. Darcy, I want you to take away the second one, or third one, because I switched as well. So you go wherever you want to go.
I'll follow the rules and do what I want. So that's what we do. We do what we want. So what if you decide, okay, what if keto is for me? This is what the next step is. This is the common pitfalls when we join the keto world, and we're doing it by ourselves. We're reading all these articles, we're following it, what everybody else in the interwebs are saying, and it comes down to, that whole myth, not mythical, because it's a real thing, the keto flu. When we are starting the ketogenic lifestyle and we have lessened our carbs, we have less carbs that we're consuming, which it means the water that usually holds on to the carbs is not really there anymore. It's not as much, and so you're recycling your water super quick. What happens when you're drinking a lot of water and you are recycling your water? You are not replacing it with electrolytes. Usually, when you have the keto flu, you are low in electrolytes because your water recycling is a lot faster. So that is the thing that usually gets people like, I feel sick to my stomach, I feel miserable, when does this energy come, blah, 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 blah. You get your electrolytes in, you stick to it, and then just keep going. That's what you do. So there's a lot of those common pitfalls with other common pitfalls. And the one I think is number one is speed. People want that speed of weight loss super quick. So they're all gung-ho and they're ready to change their life. They're ready to go. Get this done really fast. They want the weight to just fall off. When the first couple of weeks that you are on this lifestyle, or in really any lifestyle that you are in a deficit, or that you're watching what you're eating, blah, 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 what all that is, you're going to lose weight because that's water weight. Sad to say, if you're losing an abundance amount of weight at once, 5-10 pounds a week, that is the water weight. That is what we were talking about with the electrolytes.
It's impossible to lose 10 pounds in 10 days.
What?
I'm sorry. You're going to lose water. That's what you're losing. Is it fun to do that? Absolutely. It's fun to watch that scale fall.
Great for the mind.
If it's not sustainable, you don't want it. If you cannot do this lifestyle for the rest of your life, it is not the lifestyle for you.
Right.
Period.
That's it.
If you can't do intermittent fasting every day and on your specific schedule for the rest of your life, it is not for you. If you can't eat meat for the rest of your days, for the rest of your life, it is not for you. Period.
Some people can do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, Dr. Barry does it.
He looks great.
I can't do it.
Exercise,
Can't do it.
all that.
I need my greens.
But when we're gonna go back to the speed part, because when they are losing the weight, and it's when they are officially in fat adaptation, they are now losing weight. It's between 1 pound, maybe 2 pounds a week. Sometimes it's 5. Sometimes. But the idea behind of let's get all this weight off, and they're sticking to it for 3 months. They're all gung-ho. That 3-month mark hits. Then that whole fork in the road thing comes in, where now they're either going to get bored because they haven't paid attention to the body, mind, and spirit part of healing, and they were just in it for the weight loss, and that was it, not a lifestyle change. Or they're going to do the other, where they're going to keep going. They're going to keep. They've learned so much. They've built a great foundation. They have no holes in their foundation of learning about keto, and now they're able to go onto this pathway where they're continuing on their weight loss. Now there are times where people, can lose up to 8 pounds in a week, and after maybe even a stall, not a stall, but like a lull. I'm going to call it a lull. But they're not really focused on the speed. They're focused. This is where the mindset changes. When they have changed their mindset to inner health, cleaning, health versus weight loss, that is sustainable.
Yep.
If they're only focused on the weight loss coming off, it is going to be a short-term lived life, because
sorry, you had a really good idea coming out of your mouth, and I said, go ahead.
Yeah. No. No.
I won't take a client. So we do interviews before we take clients. We are so full. Our schedules are so packed now. Our clients, we've got waiting lists on certain ones of our packages, and so we require clients now to do an interview, or at least I do, Darcy, and you may be making that move very, very soon. Number one, we do that for a couple of reasons. Number one is I want to filter through the client's reasonings for losing weight. If a client tells me I want to get in a bathing suit by July 1st, it's not a client for me. That is not an interest of mine, because those clients are going to want to starve themselves, right? If a client comes to me and gives me trigger words, I know I did a call yesterday, and I can pick out the words that tell me if that client is wrestling with a sugar addiction, because that will direct me to where to send that client versus sending them to, say, our Jumpstart program that's not going to help them at all. And so it's just an honest way of making sure they invest in their coaching journey with me in the right spot. But we don't take all clients. No. And you have your own set of rules, but I won't take a client that says I need to fit in a wedding dress, by summer. Don't do it.
My goal for the clients that have that mindset is to convert them into focusing on the inner health. Yes,
have you ever been able to do that?
I have.
That's good. That's good. I've not had that success.
Yes. Then there have been some that, that wasn't the case. But here, and I'll guide it into that. And the reason why is because I help them overcome the challenges. And I'm going to take my 3, and then you can finish it off.
You go ahead.
So overcoming the challenges when wanting to do a lifestyle change or just losing weight. And that is when I help the clients with the focus of, focusing on the body, mind, and spirit. And we do that by working on what's going to happen with the social part of keto. What's going to happen with our old habits. What's going to be happening if you are limited in choices? Usually that's when people that are ready, like in that 3rd month, they're ready, they're going, they're losing the weight, things start to slow down, they're starting to get bored. That's when we push more exercises on them too. Okay, what's going to happen? Because the holiday season's coming up. So what are we going to do when it comes to Christmas time? What are we going to do when you have all these birthday parties? What are we going to do? So I really encourage the client to step outside of the box of weight loss and step outside and say, okay, how can I make this sustainable, continue to heal my body from the inside out, yet be satisfied and happy with where I'm going long term.
Yeah.
And that is battling with the old habits. So we're creating new habits. We are creating those old, running away from those old habits, away from the temptations in our life, the historical traditional things that Christmas brings us.
Oh yeah, that's the majority of my coaching these days. Is what are we doing for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
How are we getting through this?
Guess
real
what?
life.
Guess what? We have to create new traditions. Why is it that our holidays have now revolved around food? That is a holiday. It's food. It's not the activities. It's not spending time with family. It's not, playing games. And maybe some families still do that. But the whole thing behind Christmas and holidays is all about food.
And Darcy, and maybe I've not reached that point yet of euphoria where that's not the case, because I've tasted your keto eclairs before. So I'm going to push back with you playfully on that, because you're 100% right. You are 100% right. We focus everything in our life around food. And I don't know if it's a cultural thing. You went to Paris, because they're that way in Paris and Rome, and they love their food there. So it might be global. I would probably lean that way. Yes, well, and they don't poison their people like our politicians do, right?
They do it in different ways.
Right. But yeah, I digress. But the thing of it is, I have learned to enjoy the food at Thanksgiving. Like, I am already salivating. Our family rents this building for Thanksgiving every year. And so now we're just like, we bring all the family there. Like, in-laws, outlaws, your kid got married, bring them to Thanksgiving. Just tell them to bring something to eat, right? It's just like this huge, huge deal. I am already salivating thinking about the keto mac and cheese we're going to bring, the keto cheesecake, your eclairs. I am like, so I haven't gotten rid of that, we have to eat thing, because what I've done is, and we teach this to our clients, we teach them how to anchor something, how to anchor in and realign your memory pathways. Your old memory pathways used to be for that grandma's pumpkin pie. You can totally realign those things by a simple activity we teach you called anchoring. So I have anchored in my head. Literally, I did this one Thanksgiving. I sat there eating one of your eclairs, and at the highest moment of pleasure, I'm squeezing my palm, because that's a way that you anchor in that new memory. I don't even remember grandma's pumpkin pie anymore, or I don't like pumpkin pie, her apple pie. I don't remember that stuff anymore because I've realigned my memory pathways. And so that's the cool thing about it. But you have to choose to do that. You have to choose to say, I am done putting the poison in my body, but I'm going to realign my new memory pathways with my new lifestyle. Yeah. Some of our guests that are watching right now, that I see in our audience, they've done the same thing. Like, they've totally done the same thing. So I hope you guys downloaded that guide. We will probably, Darcy, you could probably talk me into next week having a holiday cookbook in our freebie giveaway.
Ooh, already?
You could probably talk me into that. Yeah.
All right. Like a Thanksgiving one?
Yeah. What if we did that next week?
All right. I'm writing it down.
Okay, you got to remind me, because we have a holiday cookbook. There's no need to go to Thanksgiving or Christmas or any of these upcoming Halloween. There's no need to go into that with an attitude of I'm going to cheat.
Well, here's the thing is, going to, yes, we revolve our holidays around food, but, and then you get in your mindset, woe is me. Everybody's having cookies but me. Yep. So you're already limiting the choices in your head. You're already limiting yourself. But when we talk about the 3 Ps where you pre-plan, pre-think, and prepare. You can do this for the holidays. You can do this for birthday parties. If you go out to eat, that just comes with a little work.
It does.
A little work.
Well, what if one of our kids had, say, a gluten intolerance, or they were allergic to peanuts or something? We wouldn't even think twice about making sure they had yummy food.
Yeah.
We wouldn't think twice about making sure our loved ones are okay. Why do we put ourselves on the back burner? When this lifestyle literally changes lives, the benefits of being in ketosis and the ketogenic lifestyle, and I'm wrapping this thing up because we are 5 minutes over right now, but the benefits of that our weight loss. It is reversing. I mean, A1Cs are coming slamming down in our clientele. I mean, just instantly. People are coming off their medications with the help of their doctor. They don't need the insulin anymore. They don't need all of those pills being shoved down their throats because they've changed their fuel. They've changed their fuel source. The benefits of being in the ketogenic lifestyle outweigh any other diet I have ever come across. Can we coach other lifestyles? Yes, we can. We hate it because we know that your body's not being healed and we know that it's just temporary,
Right.
And so it's really, really frustrating, but we can totally do it. We totally do. I've got a couple right now on paleo, and the sugars are not coming down. They're losing weight, but the sugar's not coming down. The diabetes isn't being reversed. So that's our show today, guys. If anybody has any questions, we are absolutely excited to answer them. Do you like this show? I mean, I like being here. But is this helpful to anybody? I do too.
Yes.
I do have to work on the post-gym attire, though. Like, I raced home today from the gym. I had, just, life is so fast. Life is so fast.
It is.
Did you miss any points, Darcy? I, wrapped it up there in a big bow.
Well, you didn't hit your 2, but I think we can always make a to be
I just did.
continued. Show up next week.
I just did. I just said.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I said keto.
You just now
reversing. I just gave all the benefits. Not all of them, but I just gave the benefits.
Oh.
That was my number 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and we will. We can make this part 2. We'd love to know what you want us to talk about. We are here. We will talk about any topic in the world. We don't even care what it is. We have an opinion about just about everything. Some of us have more opinions than others.
You do. You have some opinions.
I have some.
But I think it's fun to go back to the foundational part for me. Just because we've been in this for so long. Mm-hmm. We just live it like we're normal, but we always forget, I remember
so
that.
True.
Like the
So
keto
true.
food. That's not. I mean, we can definitely be depleted easily of electrolytes. We still do that, but it's one of those things where I like being able to go back and talk about the history part of keto.
Yeah. Oh, so true. We love you guys. We are here every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Again, please feel free to take a little screenshot of our QR code that will take you to our website. If you are in need of help, if you are frustrated with your weight loss being slow, if you're frustrated with the way you're living and you're like, I can't do it alone anymore, sign up for a health assessment. I did one yesterday and totally... it was an amazing call that I had with this woman, giving her hope and letting her know she's not broken.
Right.
She just needs somebody to hop down in that pit with her and to help walk her out. So we love, boy, my face is shiny. I tell you what. I gotta get some of that powder stuff because it's really shiny. We love you guys. We want you healthy. We want you to live your best lives because when you live your best lives, it not only impacts you, but it impacts your kids. It impacts your loved ones around you. They don't have to worry about you anymore. So many people say, well, my husband doesn't care. I can tell you this on this side of which my husband was absent today.
He was. No love letters today.
I got no love letters from my husband.
I wonder what that means.
I wonder what that means. Y'all ask me next week what that meant because he was absent today on the show. It might be because I yelled at him for last week for interrupting me twice. It might be because of that. But so many times people think my husband doesn't care. My husband thanks me at least once every couple of months. He says, thank you for getting healthy. It did. My weight did impact him. And that makes me feel bad. But it makes me feel better knowing that I got healthy for me. I didn't get healthy for him. I got healthy for me. But it does impact those around us. Our kids want us to live. They want us to live. Our grandkids, oh my gosh, have I told you?
Most of them do.
Yeah, most of them. Sometimes they're like, oh, mother. Oh, mother.
Yeah.
Have I told you lately how cute my little grandbaby is?
You haven't actually said that often.
My word. He is just wait till you have one, Darcy. Just wait. We should have had.
Oh,
I
right.
texted my daughter-in-law's mom this week, and I'm like, we should have done this first. I didn't need my kids. We should have done this grandparenting thing first.
Children anytime.
Oh, I love it. Guys, we love you. We'll see you next Tuesday, okay?